The following audio may contain the personal testimonials of some independent OPTAVIA coaches or clients of OPTAVIA. The results relayed in these messages are based on the unique experiences of the participants, and we cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. While you may be inspired by these accounts, please note that any stories of success have not been verified, and your individual path to healthy living and weight loss will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you consult with a healthcare provider before starting a weight loss program. In addition, this audio may contain income or earnings representations of some independent OPTAVIA coaches. OPTAVIA makes no guarantee of financial success. Success with OPTAVIA results from successful sales efforts, which requires hard work, diligence, skill, persistence, competence, and leadership. Please see the OPTAVIA income disclosure statement for statistics on actual earnings of coaches under the U.S. compensation plan, which differs from the international compensation plan. Yours in health, the OPTAVIA team.
Hey, it looks like we have the room loading up here. I am so excited to get to spend a little bit of time with you tonight on our Wednesday Habits of Health call. So let's see. Oh my gosh, the room is piling up. We're at about 400. As y'all start to come in, let's get this party started because tonight we're going to be stalking. No, we're not stalking anyone. We're going to be talking about, maybe I do need some sleep. No, wait a minute. You guys are chiming in the chat and I haven't even given you the question yet. Well, I'm not going to ask you where you're coming in from. Look at this, Dody.
I see it. They're excited.
I am going to ask everybody to chime in and let me know where you're going to be for the Christmas and Hanukkah holidays. Chime in, let me know what you guys are going to be, where you're going to be, what you're going to be doing for the holidays. So, whoa, we are rocking and rolling. We're at about 700, so I think we need to get this party started, huh? All right, everybody. So let me get my PowerPoint set up here, and here we go. All right. My name is Patty Glick, and I am a certified health coach with OPTAVIA. Super duper excited to get to spend a little bit of time with you. I came into the OPTAVIA community 11 and a half years ago as a client. I've been coaching for almost 11 and a half years, and I absolutely love everything about this community. So, and I have a longtime dear friend who is co-hosting with me tonight. So I'm going to have Dody come off and say hi and introduce herself.
Well, hi, everybody. I'm really excited to be here tonight. Patty, as always, I love having the opportunity to share. And I think what I'm most excited tonight about this element is I spent my whole previous world reacting to the disease state with sleep while I was in sleep medicine. And I love that tonight we get to share healthy sleep and unlimited energy using the Habits of Health in the LifeBook, which is now a great tool that I have to be able to help others create that.
Well, yeah, absolutely, Dody. And, you know, I was thinking about when this topic came up for us to host is I love this element because one of the things that I remember, and you know what, y'all chime in now that we're getting this party started. What kinds of challenges do you all have with sleep? Do you feel tired? Do you not sleep well? Are you someone who hits the snooze button 12 times? Do you feel like you need 12 naps during the day? And what are some of the things that you notice with sleep and you notice with energy? Because I think I had all of those. You know, I remember before getting started on my health journey 11 and a half years ago, I was always tired. I was always late into work. Yes, I hit the snooze button about 12 times. I was always about 45 minutes to an hour late. I always took a power nap in the afternoon. I came home, I was tired. I'd fall asleep on the sofa while I was vegging and watching television. I slept poorly. My husband used to joke around that we're not going to go to the movies because that's just a ticket to help Patty so she can take a nap. So I'm sure that all of you feel this way. But one of the things that I did notice when I started getting healthy, my sleep was one of the things that was rapidly improved. And I remember how quickly I started waking up before the alarm clock. I remember I actually showed up in the office ahead of schedule. I remember being in a space where I didn't need those power naps. And I actually started going to the movies with my husband again. So this element 19 really means a lot to me And here I am, 11 and a half years on my journey. And one of the things that I do notice is if I get a little wonky, because none of us are perfect, my sleep is one of the first areas that's impacted. So this chapter and this element means a whole lot to me.
Yeah, Patty, and it's watching everybody. First of all, you guys, congratulations for taking the time tonight and being on here. Everything I see coming up in here, all of the challenges and all of the good things for sleep, we're going to cover tonight. So our hope for the evening is that by the end of the evening, we give you some really solid tips and tools as we're going through this element to really optimize your sleep, optimize your energy management, and really help you make sleep a priority in your life. We're going to talk a little bit about why it's important, but more than anything tonight, what I really hope you take away is really solid strategies for having morning time and evening time routines that are really going to help you create healthy sleep and make the best of the energy that you have and increase both of those areas. Right, Patty?
Oh yeah, that is so absolutely true. So, one of the interesting things is that we know that research shows that most Americans don't get enough sleep. And we know that this is a contributing factor to being overweight. And it's so interesting because we know that if we are not sleeping well, I like to think about sleep as one of the restorative properties for our body. It gives us a chance to just get our mojo back going on, for our bodies to get back in sync. But we know that when we're not sleeping well, it impacts our immune system, our hormone imbalances, our emotions, and hello, how many of you notice that when you're not sleeping well, you might be a little crabby? You might not be so popular with your family or your coworkers. Come on, you guys own it. That was me. We know that it impacts our learning, it impacts our memory. And an interesting fact is we know that we're 5 times more likely to get a cold because our immune system isn't functioning in the ideal way it's supposed to be. And an interesting point that Dr. Anderson makes in his LifeBook and Habits of Health is that sleep deprivation is actually a form of torture. So if we keep that in mind, why is it that we like to brag on the fact that, yeah, I only need 2 hours of sleep, or, oh, I only need 4 hours of sleep? Really, I don't look at that as something that we should be bragging about, but rather something to bring awareness to so that we can make some changes in those areas.
I love that, Patty. And rather than looking at sleep deprivation as this badge of courage, I'm hoping that everybody walks away looking at sleep as a badge of courage. So why is sleep so important? You guys, I got a question for you. I want you to pop in the chat. We want to be really interactive tonight. How many of you have ever had a problem with your computer or your cell phone, and you call your friend who knows all the IT stuff, and they tell you to turn it off and turn it off, turn it off or turn it on, and unplug it and plug it back in? Anybody ever have that happen? That's what sleep does for our bodies. That downtime that we get in the evening is that key area. And for some of you, it's in the daytime if you work night shift, but that downtime is the chance our body has to restore. It gives us long-term when we're getting rested, and we want to average at least 8 hours, but somewhere between 7.5 and 9 hours of sleep a night. And when we do that, we have more energy, we have more focus, we have more mental clarity, we feel better, we're in a better mood. And you know what? It's just better mojo, as Patty said. It really gets us going to set our day up to just be the best we can as we're moving through all the other areas of our day that we don't have as much control over.
Absolutely. So here's the thing. Let's keep this chat going on, you guys. Are you a lark or are you an owl? That's the question. Now I'm going to be real with y'all because I used to think this was kind of hokey. Like, really, a lark or an owl is just somebody's just excuse for they've got all this craziness in life going on. But really what I found through coaching as I started to learn is I learned that this is really true stuff, you guys. And we know that there are people who are more awake and alert and function more in the morning. And then there are other folks who are more awake and alert and they function better at night. And one of the interesting things I think, and you'll learn about this in your Habits of Health in your life book, is that if you can really dial into this concept, what you'll find is that when you have awareness, you'll be able to utilize your larkness or your owlness to your advantage. Because when you can identify your strengths, that's going to help you to be able to know what time of the day you're going to maybe be more productive in. Okay, so time to start thinking, am I more of a lark or am I more of an owl? And then you start to think about how you can utilize those concepts to really be able to function and maximize your day.
I love that, Patty. And we're going to talk a little bit now about just that regular cycle that we have, circadian rhythm. And for those of you who haven't seen this element yet, circadian rhythm is just our natural sleep-wake cycle. And you know, back in the olden days, when we were all cavemen and cavewomen, we just naturally woke up and went to bed to the light and dark. We live in a really different world nowadays. So now what we have to do, because we don't have the opportunity, most of us, to just wake up with that cycle, we have to take control back of that cycle. And you know, you can find out, if you're curious, one of the things you can do if you're a lark or an owl is when you're on vacation for a couple of weeks, don't set the alarm, and see what time you naturally wake up and see what time your body naturally gets tired. That's your circadian rhythm and that flow. But now that we live in a society where we all have to get up earlier probably than we want to for work, we have craziness in the afternoon with the kids, you know, or jobs or things that are going on in life, we need to take back control of having a sleep cycle that allows us to get rest and allows us to have our body function at the optimal level for ourselves. And how we do that is we get control of some of the things that we can control. We generally can't control that 9 to 5 or most of the daytime, but we can control generally our morning time and our evening time. And that's where we're going to talk about getting in a routine with that.
Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about rituals. A ritual is a proven way of doing something. Or what I like to think about is creating a new healthy habit. So if you think about rituals in the evening, we run, super busy all day long. We get up, we're going to work, we're doing our thing. We've got the kids, we've got homework, we've got carpools, we got life going on. We're cooking dinner, we're doing homework, we're preparing lunches, we're doing laundry, we're doing everything until all of a sudden we go, bam, it's time to go to bed. So you go from high speed to shut off. Let's talk about a different option. And let's talk about recognizing that during the day, we have a lot of energy. We're going, we're moving about our day, we're doing our due. And one of the things I want to encourage you to start incorporating, remember, habits come over time. So start with this transition slowly, but start thinking about creating an evening ritual for yourself. Okay. And I'm going to share with you, I've been coaching almost 11 and a half years. I just started doing this a couple of months ago because I would go, because that is my personality. But what I found was that I needed to have a little bit of downtime and me time in the evening. And y'all, it's been a really huge change. And even though my sleep was good, my sleep has gotten so much better. So one of the things you may want to consider is taking some time about an hour before you go to bed at night and just giving yourself a chance to mellow, giving yourself a little chance to calm down. Turn off the TV, turn off the computer, because both of those are stimulants. Maybe try turning on your diffuser, journaling, meditating. I got the Calm app on my phone and I love it. I love listening to the stories or just to the sounds or to the music. And it really kind of gives me a time. I'll work on my journal and I just have some quiet time. My husband and I have a little bit of time together. These things really make a difference. Turn on a warm bath and just have a little bit of time to reflect, be in gratitude for the day, maybe start thinking about some things that you want to work on tomorrow, and just have that downtime before you then move into your sleep pattern. I'm anxious to hear what kinds of things that you will do as you start making that transition and creating your evening ritual.
And Patty, what do you think about keeping this chat going? Here's my next question for you guys.
Yeah.
Here's my next question. What does everybody on Zoom pop in the chat? What do you think is one of the #1 habits of disease when it comes to sleep? Pop in the chat a little bit. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about having a morning ritual. And you guys, that evening ritual is super, super important. And that morning ritual is just as important. And one person got it on here. You're right. Here's what I'm going to say to you. Write this down if you don't take anything else home tonight. Lose the snooze, guys. Lose the snooze. That snooze button on our alarm is one of the biggest habits of disease for us. It sets our day up, coming out the gate, not having control, and not feeling well, and not setting ourselves up for success. So I want you to lose the snooze, and I want you to think about a morning routine, just like Patty was talking about that evening routine. It is just as important. It starts our day where we feel in control, and it gives us the opportunity to be our best. So for some people, this might be an hour. I'll be really honest with you. If you're just getting started, maybe even 15 minutes. Start small and build on it, just like we build with all of the other habits that we're working on, right? So a couple things that you want to focus on in the morning. If you have an hour, it's going to be great. If you don't, do what you can, but focus on these key areas. #1 is waking up calm, hence losing the snooze. Really reflecting on getting ready for your day, focusing on some of the new habits that you're starting the day in gratitude, maybe journaling a little bit and journaling what you're grateful for, okay? Starting to think about your desired outcome of your day, visualizing your day, look at what you plan on doing, visualize yourself accomplishing things, focusing a little bit on your personal growth, right? Super, super, super important to get this part in the right place as we get going. And then you want to create a little bit of healthy motion. Okay, that's going to get our focus improved in the mornings. It's going to help our energy. It's going to help our mood. It's going to get our body into momentum and just really get us going on that right path. Then we want to talk a little bit of self-care. Okay, when you take your shower, I know this is hard for some of you guys who have kids, but try to take your shower quiet, enjoy the water, focus. I personally listen to some of my personal growth books while I'm taking a shower, but just have that time be for you. It's going to give you a chance to start your morning and charge your day. Just like we talk about our morning fueling and breakfast is kind of stoking the fire, this routine in the morning is going to stoke the fire for the rest of your day. The other thing I want to share with you, and if you guys haven't read this in the Habits of Health, you want to go check it out after we get off this call, make your bed. If you haven't seen one of the great YouTube videos by Admiral McRaven, making our bed in the morning, as silly as that sounds, but it's one routine that we talk about. It starts the morning with a feeling of accomplishment. It puts us in a positive mood, and it leads to other healthy habits as we get going through the day. So make your bed and lose the snooze.
Okay, then let's talk a little bit about the Ultradian Cycle. All right, you guys, here we go. All right, so this is kind of like your REM cycle during the day. So if you've all heard, your REM cycle are these cycles that we go in that when we sleep at night that help us get into this really deep, high quality sleep. Well, guess what? You can have really high quality time during the day. So if we look, we go through in and out of 90-minute cycles where we have about 90 minutes where we're really intent, we're functioning, we're moving at our best, and then we go into a little bit of a lull. And then we've got an up cycle again, and then we go into a little bit of a lull. So having this awareness is one of the things that we can have that will help us to function at our best during the day. Because when we have awareness as to how our bodies function, we can take that information and utilize it so that we can show up and make the most of our day. And I'm all about making the most of my day. Okay, so as I talked about, your alertness moves up and down during the day. Okay, this impacts our focus, it impacts our attention. So think about, and here's your next question. Our chat's quieting down, so here we go again. I want you to think, here's your question. Before OPTAVIA, when you needed a rest, when you felt tired during the day, when you had to keep going, what did you do? What kinds of things did you do? Me, I ran by the break room and grabbed some chocolate or whatever I could find in there that had chocolate on it. That's what I did. Most Americans do caffeine, do high sugar foods, carbs, anything to keep us going. The challenge is that'll swing our blood sugar up, and it may make us feel great for a short period of time, but then our blood sugar is going to plummet back down, and we're going to usually be worse off than we were. So one of the new habits starts with having the awareness of our different cycles and recognizing that we have some things that we can do. So if you have a period of time during the day when you're feeling a little blah, and one of the things I'm just going to mention, for those of you who are on the 5-in-1, or for those of you who are really optimizing your health and you're fueling your body in a healthy way, have you noticed whatever phase of your meal plan that you're on, do you notice that you tend to feel better and more alert throughout the day, right? Because we're fueling our body in a healthy way. So important. But let's say that you do get to a period of time when you just feel like you need a little downtime. You can show up with a passive response, which would be like a power nap, 6 to 20 minutes. This is just going to give you a little jolt, kind of give your brain a little chance to rest, and then you'll be up and running again. The other thing some folks do is take what's called a REM nap, which is about 90 minutes or more. And again, depending on what your body cycle needs, just kind of like we're larks and owls, our bodies kind of need different things. So get to know what your body needs depending on what your day is like. There's some active things that you can do as well to boost your energy. So you can get up and change your environment. Maybe you're sitting at a desk. Get up about every 90 minutes and go to the bathroom because you're drinking a ton of water. Go say hi to a friend. Go take a walk around the office. Go outside. Get some fresh air. Stand up. Stretch. Take some deep breaths. Turn on some music. Change up the music. Maybe you want to have a little mellow Jack Johnson going on, but then maybe you want to get a little pep in your day, so get some YouTube going on. Something to kind of break it up a little bit. Spend a little bit of time and give yourself a minute or two of gratitude. Visit with friends. Maybe spend a couple of minutes with some spiritual growth. But what you're doing is you're breaking this cycle. So instead of just staying consistent and hammering out the day, you're giving yourself these 90-minute cycles so that you can be incredibly effective.
I love that. And you know what? Has anybody noticed we're on element 19? And I'm sitting here listening to us, and I love it because I always get to learn when we're on these too. Has anybody caught on that every single element we're doing intertwines with every other element? We're talking about sleep tonight. We're talking about energy tonight, right? And I'm watching everybody pop in their messages about having, you know, some pain, some inflammation, some different things that slow us down. All of the things that we're doing, healthy body, healthy mind, healthy finances, healthy nutrition, focusing on our sleep, getting rest, they all intertwine together to help us work to our optimal self and our optimal best. And a big part of that, all of those combined, leads to this energy that we're talking about too. How many people remember the first time you went into fat burn? Was your energy not through the roof because you felt better, your body was running as a fine-tuned machine, you were getting sleep, and it was, oh man, this is amazing, right? So one of the things I really want to share too tonight that I hope you take away is knowing our current reality with everything we do. So when it comes to energy, this energy ruler, and this is something you can download from thehabitsofhealth.com, we're going to talk about that in a second, will give you a great way to track and be really aware of how you're feeling so that you can adjust accordingly with some of the things Patty shared about the passive, you know, taking naps or doing some other things during the day that are going to help regulate that energy for you. But what I want you to really take away is being aware of where we are with our energy is what's going to help us work on it. So on in the LifeBook on page 405 of the LifeBook, somebody pop that in the Zoom chat for everybody. There are some questions to look at that help you to evaluate where you currently are in your sleep and your energy, right? And once we know, if we know where we are, we can work on sleeping better and we can work on increasing our energy. So if you track this over a period of time and you're incorporating all the other habits of health, it's going to put you in control of creating more optimal days as you're moving forward and you're getting better and better at this habit of sleep and energy. So that's really a key in doing this, is knowing where our current reality is and being really aware of where we are and how we feel. So, you know, I want to leave you as we're finishing up here. Sleep impacts everything that we do. It impacts our physical state, our rest state. It impacts our mental clarity. It impacts our focus. It impacts our mood. And the more that we can be hyper-focused on where we're at and make these little tweaks along the way with some of the suggestions in the LifeBook and some of the things that we've shared with you tonight, our sleep is going to be no different than the other habits that we've been working on. We are going to be powerhouse sleep machines. We're going to be regulating our energy in a way that is going to have us really having so many more optimal days. We're not going to have that sluggishness that sometimes happens. And more importantly, that is one of the keys to helping us to have the body we want, to create the life we want, to have the mind and focus we want, to move forward and be the best version of ourselves. And really, more importantly, to serve others and be the best for our families and the best for everybody else that we know. Right, Patty?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, you know, it seems the longer we're on our journey and the more we're moving forward, we really do get to see that all of these 26 elements feed in together. And they're not something that we can just pick out and isolate, but they all come in together. I mean, Dr. Anderson is genius to bring these 26 elements in. And all of these things are going to be building blocks that will help you all to be able to build an incredible future and an incredible life together. So as we're closing up here tonight, we've got just about 3-4 minutes left. I want let's blow up the chat. Let's keep it going, you guys. You know, this is actually kind of exciting because this is our last Habits of Health Zoom for 2019. So man, we're going out with a bang, right? So, all right, so let's think about this for a minute. Think about, what have we helped you with tonight? What does this element mean to you? My hope for you is that you can be in a space where you recognize that you were probably like me and probably like Dody, and you came into this community because you were probably looking to lose some weight. You wanted to feel a little better. You wanted to look a little better. And as you started moving along and you started building more of a relationship with your coach, connecting more into the community, connecting more into your support tools, actually pulling out that LifeBook and writing your name in it and starting to read the pages and go through, my hope is that you're starting to awaken and peeling back those layers on the onions so that you can actually see that these 26 elements are going to be the key building blocks to you being able to live an incredible life. So think about, what do these elements mean to you right now? And what kind of goals might you have in terms of your sleep? Think about, what have we shared with you that might give you some food for thought? Because getting healthy is a journey. It's one habit, it's one day at a time. We're not going to be perfect. We're going to have days where we're on our mojo and we're going to have days when we're not on our mojo. But it's about never giving up and just continuing to stay connected with that coach, stay connected with that community. The other thing I'd like to encourage you to do, reach out to your coach. Let them know that you were on tonight. Let them know what you took away. Let them know what your goals are that you'd like to accomplish in terms of your sleep. You know, and again, I hope you're taking away that this is more than just putting your head down on the pillow and going to sleep for 7 to 8 hours. Instead, it's really looking at how you can maximize your time during the day. And what little actions, little tiny baby steps are you going to take that will build on them one day, one little habit at a time?
I love that, Patty. And when you were saying that, what really came to mind for me, and I'm going to say it again, you guys, if you're on here live or if you're taking the time to listen to this recorded, congratulations for taking control of your health. You are on such an amazing path. And I think two of the best things that we have are our community and our transformation system. And when we have an opportunity to put those together like we do every Wednesday night when we do this, it is pure gold. It is the lifeblood for your health journey. And I'm just so excited. I'm so excited to close out 2019 with this. I'm even more excited to think about what we've got coming next year. So for those of you guys that don't know it, we want to make sure everybody knows that we have the YouTube playlist with some short videos that Dr. Anderson did. They are awesome, you guys. So if you haven't checked them out yet, go check out the playlist. That's Your LifeBook under the OPTAVIA YouTube channel, and check out all the little snippets. They've got great little nuggets for you as you're going through the rest of the elements as we're moving forward. Patty, thank you so much for the opportunity to hop on a train with you tonight. This has been so much fun.
This audio may have contained the personal testimonials of some independent OPTAVIA coaches or clients of OPTAVIA. The results relayed in these messages are based on the unique experiences of the participants, and we cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. While you may be inspired by these accounts, please note that any stories of success have not been verified, and your individual path to optimal health will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you consult with a healthcare provider before starting a weight loss program. In addition, this audio may have contained income or earnings representations of some independent OPTAVIA coaches. OPTAVIA makes no guarantee of financial success. Success with OPTAVIA results from successful sales efforts, which requires hard work, diligence, skill, persistence, competence, and leadership. Please see the OPTAVIA income disclosure statement for statistics on actual earnings of coaches under the U.S. compensation plan, which differs from the international compensation plan. Yours in health, the OPTAVIA team.